Your Comedy Minute. I'm Scotty T. I've got a wonderful, wonderful comedian. Asher Brooks is with me. Asher, how are you? It's so nice to have you here.
I'm doing great. It's good to be with you, Scott. How are you doing today?
I feel like a woodpecker in a lumber yard, man. I'm giddy. I'm giddy. I'm wound up turning a dime store watch.
Do you ever
You're
think
in
they get migraines?
Wisconsin. You're in Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. Up in Sturgeon Bay, up in Door County.
Well, let's first start. Were you born and raised in Wisconsin?
Oh, not at all. No.
Okay. All right.
I am from South Georgia. I'm from Valdosta, Georgia, which is
Okay.
we produce a lot of Vidalia onions and tobacco. So if you have lung cancer, we are kind of responsible, and we're sorry. We also grow cotton, but let's not worry about that.
Oh my.
It's a very economically valuable crop, and we're not interested in looking at the history of it. So just focus on the tobacco.
Oh my goodness. Holy moly. And I was just going to make the comment that the one room there in Wisconsin, Appleton, what's the name of Skyline? Is that right?
Yeah. Skyline's a good club
Yeah.
in
Well,
Appleton, Wisconsin. Yes, sir.
I've had, and maybe you know Trevor Klumpner or Jessica Phillips, a couple of
Yeah,
those
I know
people.
Trevor Klumpner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they've been on the show, and I've seen that Skyline. That must be a heck of a room.
It's a pretty good room. It's up at the top of this big building called In Between the Locks. So, if the
Yeah.
elevator's out, it's a workout getting up there. But it's space. It's good space. It was the first open mic I started going to when I first moved up here. And I've slowly started to break into like the bar scene, and I've got my own club up here in Door County. But
Yeah, no,
Skylines
I
definitely
have
feels
that
like
written
home.
down. We'll get to it. The Firehouse Comedy Club.
We can take our time.
Now, well, Bud, hey, you're rushing ahead. All right, let's go back.
Yeah.
What took you from Georgia to Wisconsin? How did that happen?
Well, you see, the statute of limitations on Grand Theft Auto in the state of Georgia is about 15 years. So I've got it set on my watch. I can go home in 12 years, 8 months, and 3 days.
Oh,
And
you're a
I can't
funny
fucking
guy,
wait to
Asher.
leave this frozen hellscape. And go home. No, I moved up here because I got a great job working for Door County Trolley.
Okay.
I used to run a ghost tour company when I was in college, and then once the pandemic hit, pretty much all of my acting work, all the tour work dried up, and so I was
Okay.
working at T-Mobile, some dead end job.
Right.
And
Right.
then I got a call that said, "Hey man, do you want to come drive trolley?" And I said, "Yes." My wife and I moved across the country, and now we're happier than we've ever been. It's a great place to live.
Yeah, everyone tells me how beautiful it is up there.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So let's move ahead now. You rushed ahead. The Firehouse Comedy Club. Well, you know what? Before we do that, so
Sure.
you've been up in Wisconsin now for how many years?
About 3 years. I moved up in 2021.
Okay. And your wife's happy too?
Yeah, she loves it. She's a stage
Wonderful.
manager, so she works with some of the theaters up here.
Okay. Yeah, well, and we're going to get into that because you've done a lot of, theater work and but let's go one step at a time. The founder of the Firehouse Comedy Club. Tell people about that.
Absolutely. So it is the newest and currently the only long-running comedy club here in Door County. We're
Okay.
located in Sturgeon Bay, which is right here on the knuckle of
Yeah.
the door. I had
Yeah.
to learn the Wisconsin hand trick,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
we're
I
right
got it.
here.
Yeah.
We do monthly headliners. So we're doing one show a month where I'm bringing in a great headliner. This month it's going to be Joel Roberts, based out of Milwaukee, Kate
Okay.
Hermson, who you may know, Trevor Klumpner. I think they're actually partners. And then,
Trevor's
of
a good
course,
guy.
yeah. And then I'm actually hosting, but I have headlined, I've featured there, but I own it. And we're just growing in size every time. Last show we did, we had, I believe, over 85 people come, filled out
Wonderful.
our room. We had to pull out more seats. And
Great.
it's something I'm very lucky to be able to do because we've got a really great amount of sponsors that work with us and make sure that we can pay people really well as well. Because I want to make sure that when people come, it's worth traveling all the way up to Door County to tell jokes for us.
Yeah, no, and that's smart because you take care of your people, then they'll want to come back.
Of course.
Um, the Horrible History podcast. Do we
Yes,
want
sir.
to touch on that next? Because that you've been doing that you're in your second season episode, right? Second season of that.
Yes, sir. We're in a second season of that. That was something I started last winter. Door County has these cycles where in the summer it's work, work, work all the time. But last winter there was nothing going on, and so I
Right.
started working with some friends of mine, and we do episodes. Usually one a month. We'll put out to form a season on horrible things that have happened. We're looking at some new episodes coming up about the terrible things we did to mummies. Did you know we used to grind mummies up and snort them because French royals thought it would make their downstairs a little bit harder? Did you know we used to distill it into wine so we could drink dead people? The things we did to mummies are incredible. All because we were like, wow, look at all those dead people that the Egyptians have. Let's just take them back to France and start putting them in food.
Do
Uh,
you know?
it was
Let me
insane.
just come up for air for a second, real quick. I've had a guy on the show. He has a podcast called "Making Fun of Dead People."
What did dead people do to him?
I
I mean, some dead people,
told
terrible.
I
A lot of
told
dead
him.
people.
I said, "Bud, the name of your there are people that are just going to look at you making fun of dead people. Well, you're an asshole, you know."
Hey, a lot of dead people are bad, but we gotta pick. We gotta pick the right dead people to make fun of. Stalin, he's dead. Let's make fun of
Well,
him.
I'm going to get him in touch with you. Maybe you two guys can. when, when you started talking about grinding up mummies and snorting them and then drinking them,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus,
It's
God.
fully. You Google anything for more than 10 minutes, and you're like, wow, Europe really did a number on everywhere else in the weirdest, fucked up ways.
Well, I
Mhm.
want to just go back because I watched some of your stuff today and you're fantastic. You're funny as heck. But you do a bit or you talk about, and I guess it's true, that you
Mhm.
were on the football team and you quit, become part of the drama club.
Yes, I don't know if the Zoom is doing it justice, but I'm quite wide. Anybody who is wide in the South, you'll be walking
I'm
through the
wide.
school halls.
I'm wide.
Absolutely. You walk the school halls, the coach will see, be like, "Boy, are you a linebacker yet? Why are you
Right.
not on my line? Why are you not my defensive lineman?"
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I grew up in a football themed room. My dad is a big Dallas Cowboys fan. So literally in my like there was a crib and right next to it was a signed football, big Dallas Cowboys pennant. The walls are painted purple
No
and gray.
pressure. No pressure.
No, oh, no pressure, son. But he was actually, they were really accepting, but I had to do middle school football. I did pee wee football, I did all that. And then I got to high school and I was like, I think I'm done playing football. And they just were like, oh, so he's gay. Cool. Because they just couldn't understand why I would leave the football team and all the wonders that entailed. I
Yeah.
mean, truly, I had to explain it to him. I was like, guys, it's very simple. There are no girls on the football team. All
Yeah.
right. The only thing on the football team are men who keep touching my butt and sweating and showering with me. I think leaving the football team is the straightest thing I've ever done.
Right.
And luckily, when I got to the theater club, I was welcomed with open arms. They were just so
Yeah.
excited to have a boy. And I was like, I'm
Okay.
definitely a boy. And just, things went downhill from there.
Excuse me. No, that's funny stuff. That's funny stuff. I guess I can relate because my father was football, football, football. He actually, this is true. This is, I swear to you, Asher, I can't make this shit up this good. My father used to say, we'd be watching NFL football, and he won a scholarship or got a scholarship to the University of Kentucky. And he always used to say something to the extent of, if I had met your mother, I'd be there playing football. In other words, he blamed my mother and us kids why he wasn't in the NFL. Yeah,
Well,
football was sacred to my old man. That's why
well,
I guess I
football
related to
football's a
that
great
story.
sport. Football's a great sport to watch, but my dad, he loves the Dallas Cowboys. He's a Jaguars fan now,
Oh,
so
okay.
every few weeks I'll get a selfie from him. You know how old people take selfies? They just go, huh, at the football game. The sun's in his eyes. He's having a blast at the Jacksonville Jaguars game, and
Does
I'm
he
just
get does
watching
he
the Tonys going, "All right, Dad, have fun. Whatever
he
makes you happy, bud."
he actually goes to the games?
Yeah, hell, he loves it. He loves
Yeah,
attending the games. He and
that's
I went
cool.
to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium once
Yeah.
as a big father son trip, and we watched it from the
The new
nosebleeds and
stadium,
had a
the new
blast.
stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
the big
sister
one.
and her husband went to the new stadium in Dallas. Phenomenal, apparently.
It was very nice. It was very nice.
But
Unfortunately, they were playing
now
football, and I didn't care.
I'm gonna guess though you're in Wisconsin now. Are you now a Packers fan?
I now legally, of course, I'm a Packers fan. I work in tourism, sir. Of course, I'm a
Everybody in
Packers fan.
Wisconsin.
Go Pack, go! But if you don't tell anybody, I don't really care. Uh, you can't tell anyone this. I mean, this
I
video
won't.
has to be struck from the record, but I don't care. Uh,
Okay, it's fine.
I
Let's
wish I did. And if
let's
if
get
it's on
off
the
let's
TV,
get
we
off
can
of
root.
football. Let's get off of football and go back to comedy. When did you start doing comedy? Was that in
Uh,
Georgia or when you moved to Wisconsin?
well, I started. So
Well,
I
no, I
started
guess it would have
informally.
started back in high school at the drama club, right?
Well, yeah, even before that. So I did Boy Scouts for many years.
Okay.
And so one of the most important things on the Boy Scout, the big jamborees, is every troop has to come up with a skit. And so I was always the first one in there. I wanted to do the skits, and we would see the same skits over and over again. And I got so sick of them. I was like, let's do something original, little auteur at 11.
Yeah.
And so we started doing sketches and skits. And then I got to middle school and I started doing choir and things like that along with football. Then I got to high school, went fully into drama club and band. And when I got to college, I started doing my first like actual open mics. I was performing at churches when I was like 14 and 15.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
doing things like that.
I can tell you are, in other words, it doesn't take again, we just met for everyone just, tuning in or whatever. We met like a day ago. I put a thing in
That's true.
Facebook and you contacted me and said about being on, and I'm trying to get to people as quick as I can. And I thought, why not? I looked at your stuff and, I'm trying to have good quality comedians on, but I can tell that because I worked in the music, I guess it was getting long winded to tell you, I worked in the music business. I worked with a lot of big stars. If you go to my Facebook page, and some people have that charisma and that, in other words, I can see you going real far, and I'm not blowing hot air up your ass. I'm telling you.
Well, I very much appreciate you saying that. And if you did want to blow hot air up my ass, I
No,
wouldn't be
no,
opposed to it. I'm a big fan.
oh, Jesus, there, eat it there, stifle. Listen there, meathead. You come from a long line of bowling teams. Don't have me doing Archie Bunker now on you. No, I just mean, I've done 100 plus of these. And, a lot of times I'll say, look, I want you to do the lion's share of the talking. Okay, I will.
Or
And then, yes. Uh-huh. Jesus Christ. What part of you talking did you miss that? Where was the puzzle, my friend? So, no, I appreciate it. I love having somebody like you on.
I love talking. It's my only marketable skill. I'll have you know. One of the things my coworkers like to do is give me math problems and then watch me struggle with them for 5 to 10 minutes until they give me a calculator and put me out of my misery. So thank God talking worked out.
Yeah.
I'm so very glad I'm good at it.
Yeah, you are. You're really good at it. So let's get the people up to speed because I think you're going on the road or you have some dates coming up or something. We want to tell the people
Yeah,
about.
absolutely. Well, if you're in the Midwest area, there's some shows coming up. You can see me this month that are coming up. I'll
Right.
be doing a show May 22nd in Fond du Lac, live at the Hive. I'll be doing a show in, oh gosh, where is it? What? Well, this is the hard part about living in Wisconsin. Y'all have some funny names up here. No offense to Wisconsin. Wasaki, I'll be doing a show in
Right.
Wasaki. That'll be May 11th. Doing a show in Twin Rivers May 17th. And then, of course, a show at my own comedy club May 28th here in Sturgeon Bay. But this November, another comic and I, John Freitag, are going on the road. We're going we're going to be doing the Theater Kid comedy tour. We're getting dates and everything set up right now. But if you are interested in coming and seeing me or another great comic perform, both of us have theater backgrounds. Just keep an eye on my socials for that coming up this November. We're planning on going as far south as possibly Georgia and as far east. I don't know which way is east, but as far west as I think St. Louis.
Okay. Yeah, I thought again, I apologize because I have so many of these. coming at me like crazy. Everyone's coming at me,
Of course.
and I'm thankful. But I'm trying to remember. And I thought you said you were going out in November and you have a big. What was the opener? The guy Freitag, as you said. What's his name?
John Freitag, fantastic comic. I've been working with him for a little
Freitag.
while.
We'll
Yeah,
make sure
John
to mention.
Freitag.
We'll make sure to mention John. Have you known John for a long time?
John and I actually met. He came up to an open mic I was hosting in Door County, and
Okay.
that's honestly anybody who comes to an open mic that far out of their way, because he's down in the Appleton, like Wrightstown area.
Okay.
He came up. He did a great job for me at the open mic, and so we talked and talked, and we started working together. He and I did a show together in Abrams, Wisconsin, on Valentine's Day.
Right.
I don't know if you've been to a comedy show on Valentine's Day. It's a pretty sullen crowd, I'll be honest with you. But he and I both stuck through it. If you're wondering where sad and lonely people are on Valentine's Day, they're at my comedy shows. That's where they are.
See, now that's funny. Let me stop you there because my mind went to all the happy couples. The guy took his girl out for Valentine's Day to a comedy club.
No. No.
Drunken.
You ever met a guy who doesn't have a girlfriend?
Yeah, man. Fuck women. I hate women. Fuck women. So.
This man's sitting at the bar. I do a joke I do about drunk drivers, which I like. It's a medium joke. It's not great, but it's a good opener.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So when I first moved up to Wisconsin, I had heard a lot of mean stereotypes about Midwesterners. I'd heard y'all were mean drivers. I heard you were bad drivers. And I wanted you to know that's not true. You're not bad drivers. You're drunk drivers. And so that joke's fine. It's like a 5. That joke, I told it in Abrams, Wisconsin, and this entire bar full of incredibly drunk people just looks at me and goes, Wah! Just screams with happiness. Drunk drivers. This guy walks up and hands me a shot and goes, "This is a snake bite. Here you go." I'm on stage. And this man hands me a shot glass. And I'm like, okay. And I take a shot with this man in front of the whole crowd and then proceed to do another 6 minutes of comedy that I don't know if they love. They were laughing, but they could have just been, drinking themselves to death. Okay. It's like a high school graduation for cirrhosis of the liver.
Okay, cool. So you got this November thing coming up in November, and it's just going to be you and him, or is it going to be more comedians on the bill?
Well, we're hoping to bring in local hosts because that's what we want to do. John and I are both white guys. And so we want to make sure that whenever we do a show, we try to put as many people with other perspectives in as possible.
That's what
so we're hoping as we go to, as we come into each town, what we're doing is we're working not only with the venues, but with the local scenes to say, hey, who's a great opener? Who's somebody that's not just a white guy with a beard and comedy? Let's bring them up. Let's get them featured on the show. And we're hoping to do some feature spots as well. So hopefully local host and then a, kind of regional opener or guest spot to bring in some people that, we don't know super well.
You mentioned all your social media, and I will put all your social media links. And you are on, like, in other words, I went down through, you have Spotify for your webcast, for your podcast.
Yes, sir.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think you even have YouTube channel, everything. Yeah,
the YouTube channel I mostly just use to put stand-up bits on so I can keep a good, repository of them. But if you want to follow my YouTube, you can watch 4 or 5 sets get better and better every time I post them.
Yeah. You know what? And that's something that I tell people because I do all 4. I'll call it 4. I actually do more than that. But in other words, Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I do Twitter or X, Facebook.
Well, they're going to ban TikTok soon anyway.
So you know what? Now I think about Threads. I'm up to 13,000 followers on Threads and YouTube. But for me, because I just do those quickies, your Comedy Minute Quickie, I just do a quick one-liner joke. And I do it with my phone, and I do it in 5 minutes. And I do one a day. And to me, it's real easy. And that's something I suggest to, people that want to grow on YouTube and this and that. Absolutely. It doesn't take a whole lot. If you do quickies or just do a quick, whatever. And I think that's a success. If I can help out on YouTube, that would be something I would try to, I'll try to help you as well. I think
wonderful. I would love to be famous.
You know what? I think you're on your way, my friend. I like your backdrop. I think you've got great presence. Yeah,
Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
you look like $1 million, buddy.
Oh man. Well, in this economy, how about 1.5 million? You know,
All
money
right,
doesn't
I'll
go as
take
far as
her
it
up.
used to.
I'll take her up. Um, so I just want to be sure that I cover everything because we have to get to your comedy minute. But did you want to do a little bit, do a couple sections, do a little bit of some of your favorite stuff?
Well, I guess. Let me just think. There's some stuff I've been working on recently.
Go ahead.
Um, I did a show. What was it? This weekend in
Right.
Portersfield, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I opened with this a couple of minutes of Waffle House material, and let me tell you, they didn't get it at all. I am not used to people not getting my jokes, but we're gonna
Well,
do these. We'll see
you
if
know
your
what?
people get them.
Did they not know what the Waffle House was?
That was exactly what the problem was because I was open. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you guys know what Waffle House is?" And they were like, "No, what the fuck is a Waffle House?
Well, you know
What is
what?
this fat
Let me
man on
stop
stage
before you
yelling about?"
you can do the Waffle House, but if you were here, I'm in Pennsylvania. There are no Waffle Houses here. You have to go down south. In other words, like you're from Georgia, that's where the
Hmm.
Waffle Houses are. They aren't up
Well,
this
I
way. So
well, that's
doing
the
Waffle
problem.
House
Yeah,
jokes to people that don't know what the fuck a waffle. There's a my favorite Waffle
starting
House
to
joke.
learn.
There's one something about what has 8 legs and 12 teeth or something. Yeah, the night crew at the Waffle House.
Hey, first off, I mean, so if you've never been to a Waffle House, I will kind of explain it for you. And this is not like a joke. This is to give you a background. So
Yeah,
Waffle House is a 24-hour diner.
yeah,
They make exclusively breakfast food. They are open all the time, and they're like this very sterile, clean environment. It's supposed to be, but it's always very dirty because there's always people coming in and out. The people who work there are generally not paid very well, but they're very sweet because they're the kind of people that will work full time for you, in a 24-hour diner. If you've never seen a Waffle House before, you may have seen a video from one. There was a very famous video that came out of a lady in a Waffle House getting a chair thrown at her. She's
right,
like
right.
a employee there. She just bats it out with one arm and then just goes, "You gotta go. Your order will be ready in a second." And like she takes it in stride and it in such a really cool way that like people started memifying her and she's
Yeah.
become like Waffle House lady. So that's the kind of area we're talking about.
The Waffle House, and again, I'm going to piss some people off, but I'll take the heat. It's my gig. The Waffle House is the lower end of the gene pool. It's you're not going to have your highfalutin people eating at the Waffle House.
Hey, hey, fuck you. I love Waffle House. You know
No,
why? It's
no.
really good
Hey,
for your
hold on,
heart.
buddy.
It's really
Hold
good.
on.
It's
Pump
good
the
for your
brakes.
soul.
Asher, hold on. I have been to the Waffle House on many occasions.
Yes. I've been to the Waffle House so many times. Some of them I went sober. Like it was great. It's
Yeah,
even good when you're
you
not
did
drunk.
mention the crackheads and the drug addicts and the alcoholics and stuff at the Waffle House.
That's well, I'm just
The
saying.
clientele.
Well, yeah, well, like there's only two places where you can meet the kind of people at Waffle Houses. You can go to a Waffle House parking lot, or you can go to a local drug rehab. Those are the same people that are there. Um, and we should be
The parking
kind to
lot
the
at the
people.
Waffle House is always good.
The parking lot of the Waffle House is a great place to buy drugs, by the way. If you're looking to buy some drugs, go
Buy
to a Waffle
anything.
House parking lot,
Buy a
hang
TV.
out for like 10 minutes.
Buy a
You'll either get a
TV
waffle or smack.
or a TV or a DVD player. Get anything at the
I
Waffle House.
I was back down south a
This
couple of
thing,
weeks
by
ago.
the
A friend of
way,
mine.
Asher, this thing went off the rails.
Are we over time?
No, no. I'm kidding you. We've 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 succumbed to the Waffle House. I asked you to do a
We
bit.
should.
We're 5 minutes into the Waffle House.
Writing bits now. I'm going to talk about you on stage later. I'm going to be like, listen to this man. This man told me Waffle House was shitty. I looked him in his face. I said, fuck you. I don't care if this is your TV show. Fuck you. Waffle House is good. And it is good. It will kill you. To be clear, Georgia is 41st in healthcare, but number one in density of Waffle Houses per population.
He got
And Waffle House is the reason we're 41st in healthcare.
confrontational over the Waffle House. He keeps
I
coming
will
at me.
fight you.
I thought
I
he was
will.
I thought he was gonna come and tear a vein out of my throat. I didn't know what happened.
I'm gonna get brass knuckles made, and instead of like my initials, it's gonna be WH right there on the brass knuckles.
Waffle
That way, when you
House.
get your beating, you're gonna
I will
understand why
fight
you
for
got
the
the beating.
Waffle House. The Waffle House is gold. Oh man.
Just to let you know, Scott, I got about 6% left on my battery just because I don't have great access to a charger.
Okay.
So
All right. So
just
we
letting you know.
better get to your comedy minute, huh? Man, we'll have to
Yes,
do.
I don't
Hey,
want to rush you.
do me a favor because I don't know what
Yes, sir.
6% means. In other words, how long that is. We only got about 5 or 10 minutes anyway, at most. But
You're fine.
let's move on. Make sure we cover everything, and let's make a pact because I really like you. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to do a fist pump to you. I'm going to have you back on in a couple months if it's okay with you, and we'll catch up and
Sounds
see how
great to
everything
me.
sounds good. We'll catch back up.
Absolutely.
All right,
Wonderful. Yeah,
wonderful.
and I'll do some actual jokes then. How about
And
that?
you
Not
know
just
what?
yell at you about my
I'll
favorite
say
breakfast
this:
place.
if we're cutting this short, it's because you and your 6% and you rambling about the damn Waffle House.
I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. I feel no regret or shame for my actions.
This is Waffle House humor. They could play this. They may even play this at the Waffle House.
I would love to be, if Waffle House is watching, let me look directly at the camera. Waffle House, if you're watching, please sponsor me. I don't care if I die of diabetes. I would love to be paid in waffles,
Okay,
bacon, and syrup.
okay, kids, it's time for your comedy minute with my buddy. Asher, come on, man. Can you do a comedy minute for me? Do you got something lined up?
Yeah. So comedy minute, the when you said something that you really really love, the first thing I
Anything.
thought back is Eddie Izzard, his Cake or Death bit. If you've ever seen Cake or Death, it's excellent. It's really really good absurdist humor. It starts out from this really small premise, and he grows. They probably. I don't want to misgender them, but they grow it bigger and bigger and bigger. And I actually didn't come across it as their bit first. I came across it as a Lego animation. That's a thing that was kind of on YouTube when I was a kid, where
Mhm.
people were taking audio and putting Legos on top of them, making them move around and talk. And
Okay.
so if you look, you can see a Lego version of Cake or Death, and it's just one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Out of context, it's incredibly funny. In context, it's really funny. And sometimes comedy is hard to just pluck out, like an apple off a tree and enjoy it. But it is peak comedy. It's so funny. It's so absurd. And true to form, the only like it doesn't upset anyone. It's good, funny jokes, and it doesn't punch down or up. It's just fantastic.
Eddie Izzard is a very, very funny. Like you said,
Absolutely.
I don't know what to gender wise, but always was funny. I always enjoyed Eddie Izzard.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. I would kill to see them in concert. I would kill to see them just, drinking a beer, just be in their
yeah.
presence. They're one of the people that I think are truly, truly excellent with writing. I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of people you'd love to see, but Eddie Izzard's got to be
Sure.
top of my list, one of my favorites.
Is it? Go ahead. We got a couple more minutes. What you want to name a few more comedians that you really like?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My
Or I'll
parents'
tell you
first,
what. Do you have a second your comedy minute, a true story about you? And
absolutely.
not
I'll
no
go for
Waffle
one.
House bullshit. No Waffle House bullshit.
True story about me. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you real quickly. True
Your
story about
comedy
me.
minute. This is a special, a second your comedy minute. Go ahead,
Ah,
bud.
wonderful. I'm so blessed. So I went to my very first open mic in Columbus, Georgia, where I went to college. I asked a girl out that was in my AP honors class. I went with her to this open mic. We got there and I realized that anyone can perform. So I'm on a date with this girl, right? I spend the first 30 minutes of this date completely ignoring her and writing down jokes in my phone because I'm so excited to go up and perform. I go up and perform. I do very well. People clap for me. I come sit down. I then bask in my own glory for 30 minutes because I'm so proud of myself. People start talking to me after the show. She walks away furious with me. We then date for 3 years because I threw myself on my knees and apologized.
I thought you were going to say she left.
She did leave. I had to call her and beg her to
Beg her to
forgive
come
me.
back. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought that was going to happen. Well, cool. I love both your comedy minutes. I love everything about you. I think you're wonderful.
I love you too, Scott, but
Oh,
we'll talk
they
more about that
don't
when the
start
camera's
up
off.
that Waffle House. You try to get me behind the dumpster at the Waffle House. All right, hang in there for a second. I'm going to stop the recording, okay? Because I don't want you to run out of
Okay.
battery. Because I
All
want
right.
to talk to you a minute or two off the record, okay?
For sure, for sure.
Thank you so much for being here, Asher. I appreciate it. You're wonderful.
Thank you too, Scott.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
hang tight for a second.